Yo, what up guys, beside here. In this video I want to talk about this Fire Night tournament that just launched in the game, promising to give you some rewards if you fight the Fire Night boss with these 3 factions only. I also want to take the opportunity to open 2 of my remnant summon that I obtained from beating the Corset City stages and see if I can pick up 1 more mythical champion to add to my roster and give me crazy amount of CVC points, because I'm going all the way for that 400 mark, which is not something I do often on my account. Alright, first off, this Fire Night tournament is not something that everybody should go for. I wanted to share this one from my personal opinion. I looked at it this morning, I was like, let me put together a team that can beat it at the highest stage. Well, the highest stage that I can put together a team to beat it was 25. And that's not what we want to farm the Fire Night for at the end game, when you're already beating it at hard 10, hard 5, hard 6. You don't want to just fall down back to 25 or 20 just because a special tournament comes around and promises to give you some rewards. Now, if you're very strapped for void shards, or you're looking for this eternal soul essence, maybe you want to push for it. But remember, CVC is going on. CVC will give you more CVC points if you farm these dungeons at the highest level, right? So it's something you have to decide, but I wanted to share this information with you from my own personal account perspective. If I'm trying to hit high CVC numbers, this is not a dungeon I should be farming today. It should be Spider, right? Because that gives me silver at the same time. So, but a lot of people will not push for this one because they don't have the champions required to do it. But I will show you the champions I put together to at least beat it at level 25. But at the same time, I'm telling you that I'm not going to be farming that, except I magically pick up 10,000 energy somewhere that I have nothing else to do with it. I don't want to spend gems on this particular one. That's what I'm trying to think about now. So first off, I wanted to show the rewards to see that it is okay if you have nothing else to spend your energy on. If you have nothing else. So now that I see the Fire Night tournament, I have to draw your attention to the fact that there is a 3x boosted chance going on to give you savage artifacts. That's another reason why you should be farming this content at the highest level you can beat, not at the lowest level you can beat with champions from 3 factions. So you have to decide, do I want to farm this at the highest level that I can beat comfortably and give me that 3x boosted chance of getting savage artifact, which is still useful for those players who are not getting great lethal, great merciless. You're not getting all those other slayer sets, right? This is still the best set for you, unfortunately. Although a lot of endgame players have gone past way of using savage. I don't even have a lot of savage. My lethal is so crazy that savage just falls off. I don't use savage anymore on my endgame champions. But it's still a content that is worth farming in the early game, and you want to do it at the highest level you can. 25 at least for early game players, and then 20 if you're super lucky to have the champions to help you do it that fast in the early game. This is not a dungeon that you can come in with 3 factions alone and take down in the early game. That's what I'm saying. If you have to drop down to stage 14, 16 because of that tournament, I don't think this is worth farming, because at that stage you'll be just getting 4-star, 3-star, 4-star mostly, or 5-star Fire Night savage gear, which is probably going to be replaced soon. So you have to decide, is that void shard worth going for? In the early game, I used to chase after every shard. Yes, once you hit the shard, you can stop. You don't have to go for the eternal soul essence. So it's something you have to decide for yourself. But for my end game account, I would rather farm the Fire Night at hard 10 and get me those savage gear than to drop to 25 for 1 void shard, right? That's what I'm thinking. Although I've not thought about how many battles it will take for me to get it, but let me know in the comments if I'm getting this all wrong, by the way, because I looked at it and it's like, if I farm this at 25 right now, it will get me low or less CVC points. And talking about CVC, that's another inspiration behind me making this video, because I want to do all I can to get to my personal reward number of 400k, and I'm not there yet. I'm already at 187, and that's quite a long way to go from 400. I've not done any other things like forging or anything, but I want to use dungeons most of the time. And speaking about dungeons, I see that there's another content that requires me to spend a lot of energy right now, is the Sand Devil objectives. So with the Sand Devil objective of me hitting this number or getting the bonus from this number, That's all I need. This is something that I'll have to spend energy on. This is also another thing I have to spend energy on, campaign objectives. So if you're somebody that is going hard for CVC, or your clan is going hard for CVC and try to win, the Fire Knight might not be your first priority. Remember, it's lasting for 2-3 days. So you might want to wait until you're done with everything you have to do with CVC, right? Over here. You're done with all these Sand Devil objectives. You're done with arena objectives. I'm still on an arena objective. Before you're now spending the rest of your energy on that Fire Knight boss, whether you want to do it at the highest level you can, or you want to just go low and farm it with only champions from that factions. So what factions are there requiring to farm the Fire Knight with? Dwarfs, Shadow King, and Sylvan Watchers. The problem with this faction is that in the early game, they don't have a lot of champions who can keep the turn meter of the boss down. They do have some freeze champions for hard mode. They do have some heavy hitters like Gnot and Icrisia from the Dwarfs faction. So for endgame players, this is not a problem, right? So I'm going to show you the team I put together that can help me beat it at least at level 25. Like I said, this is not an early game content. The Fire Knight has never been an early game content. It's something that you farm later after you do Dragon 20, 25, after your Spider is almost at 20. That's when the Fire Knight comes in. So if you're looking for a team that can help you beat it at level 20, then I might just show you an epic team that probably could do it, but it's not going to be a recommended one. Let me just see what I can put together for the epics category, because it's not a lot of champions that are useful in this Dwarfs, Sylvan Watchers and factions that can help you take it down. But there are some that stand out the most, and the most useful one that a lot of people use in the early game will be to freeze the waves or to crowd control them. At least is going to be this dude. I'm not going to put him at the leader slot. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's not a dwarf. This dude. So he is going to be essential, kind of good for controlling the wave content. At least that's what I know him for. And she is also useful for triple hits on her A1, triple hits on her other skill. She does huge damage also. So these are the only epics from this faction that I think will be useful. He does have AoE, decrease defense, right? So, right? I've not built this champion yet on my account, but he's also going to be useful for damage. And from the epic category for this Shadow King, there is not a lot of useful one at all. You do have a few revivers. Oboro is in there, but there is none that I want to add to this list of champions I want to use for that content. So from this faction, it seems like there are 3 useful ones. From this one, it seems like there's no useful epics. I'm saying epics because I'm talking about the newer players who are thinking they can do this at level 20. Of course, he's always going to be useful for stealing the turn meter of the boss, but it doesn't let the boss take turns, which would not allow that HP bond to tick and do big damage. Except the boss gets a turn, then he hits himself. But Geomancer is going to be useful for turn meter control, but not useful for damage in there. Except he will put high crit rate or high crit damage on your Geomancer, which doesn't happen a lot. So if you're trying to survive and revive, there you go, you have a reviver. And then for the other faction right here, no, this faction is not among, Rector Drat is not among them. So those are the only 3 factions. You got the Dwarfs, you got the Shadow Kings, and you got the Sylvan Watchers. So that's why I say this is not an early game content. So where is the turn meter control on the A1? Where is the consistent damage that is coming in? Where is the multiple hitter? Oh, there is one I forgot about. She does have multiple hits. Where is she? There's an epic champion that I just missed out on. Where is she? Where is she? She's not in this faction. She's a dwarf. There she is. She does have ally join attack. So it's not as high as Farakin the Fat. She's not as high as a legendary champion, but she does have it on her skill. So she can be definitely useful and keeping the boss down. So if you do want to use 2 Cryodan, I guess you could do hard mode. There are people who do this on hard mode, thinking of a hard mode team. I'm thinking double Cryodan is useful as a hard mode team. And this dude, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Hard mode Cryodan. There's one more champion that is useful with an A1 freeze, or is it an A2 freeze? There it is, Gori. So Gori helped me in the early stages when I was trying to beat Fire Knight. So there are options for a hard mode team, but it's not going to be friendly with newer players. So speaking about hard mode teams, this is the one I'm going to be using for 25. I'm not doing hard mode. This is the team right here, double um, damage dealers. It's faster for the boss, but it's very, very slow for the wave, as you can already tell. So I probably could do this on hard mode if I add more freeze. Maybe take out a crazy and add in a freeze champion on an A1, like one of those Gory or somebody, so that when they would go with multiple hits, the freeze can take down the boss. But I'm not trying to fight this content at hard mode, but I think it can be done. I don't need this multi-hit. Not alone can do hard mode. Even if it's hard mode 6, you can get this done. So maybe I'll be trying it on stream later in the day. Hop onto the Twitch live and see if I'm fighting this or not. But I want to focus on the other content that I showed you first before I hit my 400k on CVC, before I think about the Fire Knight. So that's the main information I wanted to share in this video. Now it's time for me to go into the Remnant Summon and see if I can add one more mythical champions to the 2 I already have. All right, catch me live. I'll be fighting CVC with that new champion also. Fully booked because CVC is here. That's an epic. 1000 points. Probably want to save this for champion chase during a fusion, but I want to see if I'll have a mythical champions and boost my chances of getting that CVC done really fast, so I don't have to spend a lot of energy on it. All right, that's what I'm looking for. First mythical, no. So since this content came out, I've not picked up a mythical from this Remnant summons, but I will still keep trying. Is there anything else that is happening in raid that I should be interested in? You can see the portal is changing colors right here. This altar or source is changing colors. Since they launched this event, I've never really liked it. It's a summoning pool to give you perfect souls for these specific champions, but to get this special prism jewels, you have to fight the what do you call it now? Not campaign, dungeon divers. Yes, it's dungeon divers that has the resources, and that is not something I want to be concerning myself with. So going all the way to pick up this 45 prism jewels and then going back to the altar of souls and you summon it, boom, and you get 5 to 6 star rare for Doomscreech or a Fairhound. So I don't like the fact that rares are in this one. I don't like the fact that, you know, that we have another one for summoning champions where it's only epics and legendaries. So the reason why I don't like this is because rares aren't in it. If there are no rares in it, I'm fine to get even a 4-star, 3-star when I do this. So if I spend all that time in the dungeons, get my dungeon divers point, get to the 45 prism jewels, and I summon it, I don't want to get a rare. So that's why I'm not really interested in any of these events. So I might be doing what I can to get dungeon divers point, but it will not be to go all the way and get this 45 prism jewels. It's not something I want to go for. It's not something I will encourage. I just wanted to add that to the list of things happening in raid today, and I think that's all I have right now. I'm going over there and trying to see what more I can do in this clan versus clan to make sure I hit my 400k points before the time expires today. CVC ends today, so make sure you do what you can. I'll be doing some forging also, right, for the newest set that is happening this time around. Well, not that new, but the content we are farming right now is gonna be this boss, and she's the one that I'll be forging because damage dealers just can't have enough damage for some reason. All right, let me know in the comments below what you are up to in raid today. Are you going hard for CVC? Which of these events catches your attention the most? Are you going crazy for the Fire Knight, where you're getting savage gear at the highest level, or you've been compromised by this Fire Knight tournament, which is restricting you to use champions from 3 factions only to be the Fire Knight at the lowest stage you can to do it faster, or you really want that epic, what you call it now, voice chat so bad that you're compromising and going for this. So that's it. I'm not going to be touching this except I'm done with fully CVC. Then any left up energy I might use on this. Still have 1 day to 2 hours to go. And yeah, it's been a while since we saw a void shard in tournaments. So this one was kind of special. That's why they made it available. So you might be lucky, pull a void and get the void legendary of your dreams. For now, I'm going back to see what I can do about those 400 marks, because it's not easy to do it. So that's why I don't often push for every CVC and get 400, but this time around I think I can do it, although I didn't get anything from my remnant summons. All right, see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Later guys.